Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're flying into the US and your very first stop is Miami International Airport, MIA, you're going to want to pay close attention. Honestly, navigating an international to domestic connection there, it can feel like a super high stakes game. You've got tight windows, kind of confusing hallways, and a whole lot of rushing travelers who are just as lost as you are. But today, we're completely taking the guesswork out of the equation. We're laying out the ultimate blueprint to get you from international touchdown all the way to your next domestic gate, literally without breaking a single sweat. So, are you afraid of missing your connection? Well, you're definitely not alone. It's basically the number one fear for anyone passing through this massive, bustling hub. You know that anxiety of watching the clock tick down while dragging your luggage through an unfamiliar terminal? Yeah, it's a universal travel nightmare. But don't worry, we're going to replace all that anxiety with a totally foolproof game plan. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The Connection Challenge. Navigating Miami International Airport. When you're connecting through a sprawling hub like MIA, your natural spatial intuition is actually going to work against you. You just can't guess where your next gate is based on the general layout of the buildings. I mean, you might have heard that Miami has this linear architecture, but honestly, throw that right out the window. Success here requires blind, unwavering obedience to very specific signs. Just follow them step by step, exactly like basic math. 2 plus 2. We're going to walk through this linearly, focusing only on exactly what you need to see and do to solve this connection puzzle. Section 2. The 5 mandatory steps, your survival blueprint. Okay, so here's the deal. You absolutely must complete this exact sequence in strict chronological order, from the second you clear immigration until you're safely walking to your departing gate. There are 0 shortcuts here, so let's map out exactly what you physically need to do. Step 1. Baggage claim. Right after passport control, you have a mandatory pickup. You gotta grab your checked bags. Step 2, customs. Just cross through the exit doors with your luggage in hand. Step 3, choose your destination. Now, this is a crucial split in the path, and we're gonna look at that really closely in a second. Assuming you make the right choice there, you hit step 4, baggage drop. You literally hand your luggage right back over at the quick transit counters right in front of you. And finally, step 5, the TSA checkpoint. To find this specific transit security screening, just look for the sign reading all terminals, concourse gates, and head straight up the escalators. That is your mandatory 5-step rhythm. Section 3, beware the critical point. One wrong turn ruins the journey. Remember step 3? That exact moment right after you walk through those customs doors, it's literally the most dangerous moment of your entire transit experience. Never, and I mean absolutely never, follow the exit to city sign. If you take anything away from this explainer today, let it be this. When you emerge from customs, the path immediately splits. If you follow exit to city, your connection is totally derailed. You'll be dumped right out of the secure transit flow and thrust out onto the public curbside or the main arrivals hall. And fighting your way back into the terminal from the outside, it's a massive headache you absolutely do not have time for. So instead of exiting, blindly follow the arrows pointing to connecting flights. Or, alternatively, look for the arrows pointing to baggage drop. You need to strictly look for those exact English words on the overhead signage. Following those specific words is the magic trick that keeps you safely shielded inside the designated transit zone. It guides you directly to those quick counters so you can seamlessly drop off your check bags and just keep your forward momentum going. Section 4, the time-saving secret. Insider connection tips. 30, that is the exact number of minutes at a bare minimum you are going to lose if you make a very common traveler error. So many passengers accidentally exit out into the main public hallways of the airport. And you know what that does? It forces them to wait in the massive regular TSA security lines upstairs with literally everyone whose journey is just beginning in Miami. 30 minutes lost just standing in line. But we're going to bypass that completely. Here's how you save that time. Are you connecting on an American Airlines flight? Well, Miami International is broadly divided into 3 main zones: North, Central, and South terminals. Most American Airlines flights operate out of the North Terminal, specifically Concourse D. If your next boarding pass says Concourse D, you actually have a massive advantage over everyone else in the airport. And here is the insider tip. Instead of following the crowds out toward the main terminal areas, you need to look for the exclusive connecting flights TSA checkpoint located strictly inside the customs zone. It's a dedicated internal transit security line. If you find and go through this specific checkpoint, you bypass those public corridors entirely and get deposited directly into Concourse D. Seriously, it is an absolute game changer for preserving your sanity and your precious time. Section 5, Surviving Concourse D. Navigating gates D1 to D60.
All right, so you've successfully bypassed the crowds, breezed through that internal TSA checkpoint, and now you're standing inside the massive expanse of Concourse D. How do you actually get to your gate efficiently? Well, Concourse D is incredibly, almost deceptively long. If your gate is at the far end, say around gate D60, you're looking at a trek of over 1.5 kilometers on foot. That is a brutal, exhausting walk, especially when you're rushing around with carry-on bags. The ultimate solution here? The SkyTrain. It's this fast, elevated train system that runs right over the roof of the concourse. So my firm instruction to you here is this. Only walk in order to catch the SkyTrain. Do not try to hike the entire length of the concourse just to prove a point. Just let the train do the heavy lifting to move you quickly between gates D1 and D60.
So are you ready for your next connection at MIA? Armed with this explainer, you absolutely are. You know the 5 mandatory steps. You know exactly which signs to blindly trust. You've got the 30-minute shortcut for Concourse D in your back pocket, and you know exactly when to let the SkyTrain do the heavy lifting. Next time you find yourself stepping off an international flight in Miami, ask yourself, will you be just another stressed traveler lost in the crowd, or an airport master executing a flawless connection blueprint?